Welcome to HCOandMORE podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're taking you on a trip
Okay.
to explore Amish country, specifically Holmes County, Ohio.
Nice.
Ever been curious about the Amish way of life?
Yeah.
We've got you covered.
You know what's so fascinating about Holmes County is that it's not just about,
Yeah,
quaint farms and buggies. It's this incredible blend of nature
right.
and a culture that seems almost frozen in time.
I love that.
It really makes you think about what we consider modern in a whole new light.
Okay, I love that you put it that way because I think a lot of people just picture buggies and bonnets.
Right.
But there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
For those who may not be familiar with Holmes County, what makes it so unique?
Well, for starters, it's home to one of the largest Amish communities in the world.
Wow.
Imagine a place where horse-drawn buggies share the road with cars, where life moves at a slower pace, and where tradition is truly woven into the fabric of everyday life.
It's like stepping into a different world, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're not just observing this different world from afar. You can actually experience it firsthand, especially on the Holmes County Trail.
Absolutely. It's a 29-mile paved path shared by cyclists, walkers, and yes, you'll see Amish buggies going about their day. And for those who prefer horseback riding, there's an adjoining gravel trail specifically for that. It's not just a trail, it's a symbol of how two very different ways of life can coexist and even complement each other.
That's what I find so intriguing. It's not a theme park. It's real life.
Yeah.
Now, we can't talk about the Amish without addressing their dedication to tradition and their unique relationship with technology, or lack thereof, I should say. Could you shed some light on that for our listeners who may not be familiar?
The Amish lifestyle is rooted in simplicity and a deep connection to faith, family, and community. They choose to limit their use of modern technology, like electricity and cars, as a way to maintain those core values. It's not about being anti-technology, it's about being pro-community and pro-simplicity.
See, I think that's what's so thought-provoking about visiting a place like Holmes County. You see those values in action, and it makes you question some of the conveniences we take for granted in the modern world.
Yeah.
It's a bit of reality check. Yeah.
I agree. It's like holding up a mirror to our own fast-paced, technology-driven lives and asking what's truly essential. But here's the thing. Holmes County isn't just about the Amish culture. It's also a nature lover's paradise. You've got Mohican State Park with stunning, gorgeous waterfalls and scenic overlooks, and don't even get me started on the hiking trails. Imagine standing on the edge of the Clear Fork Gorge, which, by the way, is a natural landmark. It's breathtaking.
You have me at waterfalls, and I hear they have a brand new swinging bridge. Perfect for those Instagram-worthy shots. But, okay. For those who are less about leisurely hikes and more about pushing their limits, Mohican State Park is also home to the Mohican Trail 100.
Yes, one of the oldest ultra marathons in the U.S., right through the heart of Amish country. It's just this incredible juxtaposition. These athletes pushing their physical boundaries just miles from where people live without electricity. It really makes you think about different definitions of endurance, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of different ways of experiencing nature, can't forget about Pleasant Hill Lake. 850 acres, perfect for boating, fishing, paddling. If you're a water person,
Yeah.
this is your spot.
And for those who prefer their wildlife with wings, the Killbuck Marsh Wildlife Area is a must-see. We're talking sightings of bald eagles, sandhill cranes, all sorts of waterfowl. It's thousands of acres of wetlands, so peaceful and serene, a complete escape from the hustle and bustle.
So we've got this rich Amish culture and incredible natural beauty all in one place. But I'm sensing there's even more to Holmes County than meets the eye, right? What else can people expect to find there?
Yeah, you're right. There's a depth to Holmes County that goes beyond the surface. It's in the details, the hidden gems that you discover as you explore.
All right, all ears, give us the inside scoop. What are some of those lesser-known spots that our listeners should add to their list?
Well, we talked about the Killbuck Marsh for bird watching, but it's also worth mentioning that it's an incredible place for quiet reflection. Imagine walking along the 4-mile trail.
Oh, wow.
A former rail line surrounded by nothing but the sounds of nature. It's a real opportunity to disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with yourself.
I love that sometimes you need that space to just breathe and be present. Speaking of trails, I know we mentioned the Holmes County Trail, but are there any other hiking trails in the area you'd recommend?
Oh, absolutely. Within Mohican State Park, you've got the Lions Falls Trail, which follows the Clear Fork Gorge and features not one, but two stunning waterfalls. And if you're feeling adventurous, the Gorge Overlook Trail offers some truly panoramic views from the rim of the gorge.
Wait, 2 waterfalls on one trail?
Yeah.
Okay, you've officially convinced me waterfalls are just magical. But for those who prefer a less strenuous hike, what would you suggest?
The Pleasant Hill Trail is a great option. It's a more leisurely stroll along the river to the Pleasant Hill Dam, perfect for enjoying the scenery and the peaceful sounds of water.
You know what really strikes me about Holmes County is the sheer variety of outdoor activities.
Mm.
It's not just about hiking or biking. There's horseback riding, fishing, canoeing, even that epic 25-mile mountain biking trail. It's like an outdoor enthusiast dream come true.
It really is. And the best part is it caters to all levels, whether you're a seasoned hiker looking for a challenge or a family looking for a relaxed afternoon by the lake. There's something for everyone.
So let's say you're planning a day trip to Holmes County and you want to experience both the Amish culture and the natural beauty.
Hmm.
Do you have any suggestions for an itinerary?
Absolutely. I'd start with a scenic drive through the Amish countryside.
Okay.
Take your time, meander along the back roads, and soak in the sights and sounds of a simpler way of life. You'll see Amish farms with clothes drying on the line, children playing in the fields, and of course those iconic horse-drawn buggies.
I'm picturing rolling hills dotted with barns, fields of corn swaying in the breeze, and that sense of serenity that you just don't find in the city.
Exactly. Then I'd head over to the Holmes County Trail for a bike ride or a walk, sharing the path with Amish families going about their day. It's a unique experience that really puts things into perspective.
I love the idea of slowing down and connecting with that slower pace of life and for lunch.
Oh, you have to experience an authentic Amish meal. There are several restaurants in the area that serve delicious home-cooked food made with fresh local ingredients. Think hearty soups, homemade bread, fresh pies, and those mouth-watering Amish noodles.
Okay, I'm officially getting hungry.
Hmm.
But it's not just about the food, right? It's about the experience of dining in a place where tradition and hospitality are paramount.
Precisely in the afternoon, I'd recommend exploring Mohican State Park hike to one of the waterfalls or take in the panoramic views from the gorge overlook. It's a great way to reconnect with nature and clear your head.
And to wrap up the day,
If you have time, I'd suggest stopping by the historic Wolf Creek Grist Mill in Mohican State Park. It's a working mill that gives you a fascinating glimpse into the past and the ingenuity of early settlers.
I love that you keep bringing up these historical elements. It's a reminder that Holmes County is more than just a pretty place. It's got a rich history that's interwoven with the land and the people who have called it home for generations.
Exactly. Now, before we move on, I think it's important to address some common misconceptions about the Amish, one being that they're completely cut off from the modern world. While they do choose to live simply and limit their use of technology, they're not living in isolation.
Right. It's not about complete rejection of the modern world. It's about making conscious choices that align with their values.
Exactly. They do interact with the outside world for necessities and business, and even within their own communities, they adapted certain technologies in ways that work for them. For instance, they might use diesel engines to power farm equipment, but still use horses for transportation.
It's all about finding a balance, right? Choosing what serves their community and way of life.
Yes. And another misconception is that all Amish communities are the same. There are actually different Amish affiliations, each with varying degrees of strictness when it comes to technology and lifestyle. It's important to remember that diversity exists even within a culture that values tradition.
That's such an important point. It's easy to make generalizations, but just like any group of people, there are nuances and differences within the Amish community.
And finally, and this is crucial, it's so important to approach the Amish community with respect and understanding. They're private people who value their traditions and way of life. When visiting Amish country, be mindful of their customs and avoid intruding on their privacy. Remember, you're a guest in their community.
It's about being a respectful visitor, appreciating the opportunity to experience a different culture, and taking those lessons of simplicity and community back with you.
Well said. Now, for those who want to delve deeper into the Amish culture, I highly recommend checking out the Ohio's Amish Country website. They have a wealth of information about their history, beliefs, and lifestyle.
Great tip. We'll be sure to include a link in the show notes for our listeners. Okay, so we've covered the Amish culture, the natural beauty, and even some of the hidden gems of Holmes County. But what about families? Is it a good destination for those traveling with kids?
I think sometimes when we talk about disconnecting and getting back to nature, we forget that kids need a different kind of engagement.
Right.
So for families listening, is Holmes County actually fun for the younger set?
Absolutely. Holmes County is incredibly family-friendly. There's this misconception that it's all about peace and quiet, which can sound a bit boring to a kid, but in reality, it's about engaging with the world in a more hands-on, active way.
Okay, so what kinds of things would actually get a kid excited in Holmes County? Give us some specifics.
Well, for starters, there's the James L. Chrissy Memorial Pool in Millersburg.
Okay.
It's a classic outdoor pool, perfect for cooling off on a hot summer day.
Yeah.
But it's more than just splashing around. It's about that sense of community, kids making new friends, parents getting to relax while the kids tire themselves out. It's those simple pleasures that sometimes get lost in our busy lives,
Sure.
right? But let's say you have kids who are more into animals than swimming. Where would you take them?
Hirschberger's Farm and Bakery is a must visit. It's not just a petting zoo. It's a chance for kids to see firsthand where their food comes from.
Oh, that's great.
They can interact with farm animals, go on hay rides, and even try their hand at milking a cow.
I bet that's an eye-opener for kids who are used to seeing their milk come from a carton at the grocery store.
Speaking of food, I know we have to mention the J.M. Smucker Company store and cafe. It's a classic stop for families visiting Holmes County.
Oh, absolutely. It's like Willy Wonka for jam lovers.
Yeah.
Kids go crazy for the samples, and let's be honest, adults do too. You can stock up on all your favorite Smucker's products, and the cafe has some delicious meals and treats.
I have a feeling a lot of PB&Js get made after a trip to that store.
Right.
But beyond the specific attractions, I think what makes Holmes County so special for families is that it offers a chance to experience a different way of life, to step back in time almost. You hit the nail on the head. Just the sight of horse-drawn buggies can spark a child's imagination. And biking or hiking alongside a buggy on the Holmes County Trail, well, that's a memory that will stay with them forever.
It's teaching them about different cultures and ways of life without even realizing they're learning, right?
Exactly. And if you have kids who are history buffs, the Wolf Creek Grist Mill is a fascinating place to visit. They can see how grain is ground into flour using the power of water, a process that's been used for centuries.
It's a great way to connect the past with the present to show kids that things weren't always so instant and automated.
And of course, there are plenty of opportunities for adventure canoeing on the Mohican River, exploring the trails at Mohican State Park horseback riding through the countryside. There's no shortage of ways to get those little hearts pumping.
So it sounds like Holmes County really does cater to families offering that balance of education, entertainment, and just plain fun.
Yeah.
But for those listening who are thinking, okay, this sounds great, but planning a trip with kids is a whole other ballgame,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them?
Planning is key, especially when traveling with children.
Yes.
First and foremost, check out the Discover Mohican website and the Holmes County Chamber of Commerce website. They've got maps, event listings, and a ton of helpful information to make your trip planning a breeze.
And don't forget the essential snacks, drink sunscreen, and maybe a few extra wipes for those inevitable spills and messes.
Absolutely. And I think the most important thing is to embrace the slower pace of life in Holmes County. Don't try to cram too much into one day. Let the kids set the pace, allow for spontaneity, and just enjoy the journey.
So for those listening who are looking for a family getaway that's a little different, a little more grounded, Holmes County might be just the ticket. It's a chance to reconnect with nature, experience a different culture, and create those lasting family memories that we all cherish.
Well said. Holmes County is a hidden gem that will surprise and delight you in more ways than one.
So what are you waiting for? Start planning your trip to Holmes County today. And before you go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HCOandMORE podcast for more exciting travel adventures. Until next time.
If you like my videos, like and subscribe, and throw a comment down below. Have a great day.